Let's be honest, when we are buying a new smartphone, we all check out that long list of fancy features. And sometimes we even pay a lot extra just to get them. But here's the thing, how many of those features do we actually use? Today we are gonna talk about some of the most pointless and unused smartphone features out there. But first, as always, I've got a little quiz for you. Can you name this phone just by looking at it? Drop your answer in the comments. Okay, first useless feature you'll find in almost every smartphone these days, the macro and ultra wide sensors. Let's be real, 95% of users never even touch these. But hey, you still paid extra for them. And not only are they rarely used, most non-flagship phones don't even take good ultra wide or macro shots. It's more of a looks good on paper kinda deal. Instead of throwing in these kinda useless sensors just to bump up the camera count, why not give us something actually useful, like better telephotos? Seriously, imagine having multiple telephoto sensors so we could get more optical zoom without losing quality. That's something people would actually use, not a blurry flower close-up no one asked for. It's like phone companies are saying, hey look, 4 cameras. But 3 of them are just there to wipe. So yeah, if we are being a little radical here, do we even need ultra-wide and macro sensors at all? I mean, they sound cool, but in real life, most people just forget they exist. Alright guys, here's the deal. Point number 2 goes back to the cameras and the lack of those fancy telephoto lenses. Let's be honest here, how many of you actually use digital zoom? Except for those nosy people spying on their neighbors, I don't think anyone's out there pulling their phone for some crazy 50x or 100x digital zoom. Why? Cause the pics end up looking like a blurry watercolor painting with zero details, nothing clear. And those huge zoom numbers, just marketing tricks. Plain and simple. Samsung's 100x zoom? Come on, that's basically saying, here is your pixelated mess, enjoy. Honestly, after zooming in 100 times, if you're not just creeping on someone's breakfast, what's the point? So let's all agree, digital zoom is just one of those useless smartphone features that sounds cool, but nobody actually uses it. Alright squad, let's talk point number 3, display brightness. Every brand out there is on a mission to make their phone screens blindingly bright. But do we actually need our phones shining like mini flashlights? Absolutely not. Even budget phones handle direct sunlight pretty well. Honestly, 2000 nits max brightness? Perfect. Enough to see your memes and scroll in peace. But hey, some phones gotta go overhead. Check out the Vivo X200 Pro. This beast hits a whopping 4500 nits. Who needs that? You planning to signal aliens or just burn a hole in your pocket? So yeah, let's just agree. These crazy bright screens belong on the useless smartphone features list. Because who really stares at their phone like it's a solar flare? Not me. Alright, I'm probably gonna ruffle some feathers with Samsung flagship fans here. But seriously, how many of you actually use the S Pen? And what's even the point? I've literally never met anyone who pulls out their S Pen regularly. Sure, older models had Bluetooth tricks when you could use it as a camera shutter or remote. But now, it's just there. And who's out here trying to take notes on a 6.9-inch screen with a tiny stylus anyway? Sounds like a workout for your fingers. Plus, here's the kicker. If Samsung just dished the S Pen, they could pack a bigger battery inside, which honestly make way more sense. So, can we all just agree the Samsung S Pen is basically another flashy feature nobody really needs? Boom. Added to the useless smartphone features list. Okay, as a tech fan, do you really want to carry a phone in 2025 that's basically a button farm? Cause I sure don't. You know exactly which phone I'm talking about. Yeah, the iPhone 16 series. Like, what's up with all those buttons around the phone? I can deal with the power and volume buttons, no problem. But action button, camera control, what even are those? Plenty of experts already said that the camera control button is basically useless. And honestly, packing a phone full of physical buttons when everyone else is moving toward a sleek minimal design, super weird move. Putting taste aside, I seriously doubt anyone's actually using all those buttons, or missing them if they weren't there. So yeah, let's be real, more buttons doesn't mean better phone. Who doesn't want a powerful all-around beast of a processor in their phone? But at what cost? Seriously, how many people actually use even a fraction of that insane processing power? These days, companies are all about that chipset flex, dropping new phones every year with promises like X% faster this and Y% stronger that. But in reality, I bet 99% of us don't even need that kind of over-the-top muscle packed into a tiny device. You might disagree, but think about it. How many people do you know who've been rocking the same phone for years with zero issues? So yeah, maybe it's time to admit, we don't really need all the crazy processing power in our smartphones right now. And finally, the last point. As someone who actually owns a foldable phone, I gotta be real with you. I straight up threw my money away. These foldables, yeah, they look cool and sure, they give you a bit more screen real estate. But that's pretty much it. They're still not fully baked. The tech isn't there yet. And you can't expect more beyond, hey, look, my phone folds. Oh, and let's not to forget the price tag. You're basically paying double for a device that does almost the same stuff as a regular phone. Yeah, they're pretty, they feel premium, but as a real user, I'm telling you, they're so not worth the money, not even close. So yeah, those were a few smartphone features that honestly most of us don't really need. If I missed anything, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think is just plain useless in today's phones. Peace.